Now to a controversy involving Fox News contributor Juan Williams. National Public Radio has fired Williams from his job as senior news analyst for comments that Williams made on Fox News Channel regarding Muslims and terrorism Monday night. It came during an appearance on the O'Reilly Factor. James Rosen is live for us in Washington with more. James?
John, good morning. In announcing its decision, NPR News issued a statement late Wednesday night in which it cited those remarks on Monday night's episode of the O'Reilly Factor and said that they were inconsistent with our editorial standards and practices and that they undermined Williams' credibility as a news analyst with NPR. The incident has its origins in Bill O'Reilly's own guest appearance 1 week ago on the ABC daytime talk show The View. Co-hosts Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, both comedians by trade, walked off the set in protest after O'Reilly argued that one of the reasons a Muslim mosque and cultural center should not be built 2 blocks from Ground Zero is, quote, because Muslims killed us on 9/11, unquote. Discussing that episode on Monday night's O'Reilly Factor, Juan Williams then made the comments that triggered NPR's decision.
I mean, look, Bill, I'm not a bigot. You know the kind of books I've written about the civil rights movement in this country. But when I get on a plane, I got to tell you, if I see people who are in Muslim garb, and I think, you know, they're identifying themselves first and foremost as Muslims, I get worried. I get nervous.
There was, however, more to what Juan Williams said, as NPR's own media reporter David Folkenflik stated in his report on Williams' ouster. Williams, quote, warned O'Reilly against blaming all Muslims for extremists. Indeed, one of the things Williams said in that appearance was, you don't say first and foremost, we got a problem with Christians, unquote, because of Timothy McVeigh or the Atlanta Olympics bomber. One of the precipitating factors for NPR's decision may have been pressure brought to bear by the Muslim American community. The Council on American Islamic Relations released a statement last night prior to NPR's announcement saying, quote, NPR should address the fact that one of its news analysts seems to believe that all airline passengers who are perceived to be Muslim can legitimately be viewed as security threats. Such irresponsible and inflammatory comments, the CARE statement continued, would not be tolerated if they targeted any other racial, ethnic, or religious minority, and they should not pass without action by NPR, unquote. Others are weighing in support of Williams. The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg said that Williams' comments about airline passengers, quote, reflect the views of the vast majority of people who fly in this country. And the Weekly Standard's Bill Kristol, also a Fox News contributor and long one of Juan Williams' chief antagonists in the heated panel discussions on Fox News Sunday, asked, do the powers that be at NPR think Juan Williams is a bigot, unquote. In addition to his broadcast work, Williams also has a long career as a print reporter at the Washington Post and as the author of several critically acclaimed best-selling books about the African-American civil rights movement. John.
All right, James, thank you. And Juan spoke with us just a short time ago. Here's what he had to say.
Wednesday afternoon, I got a message on my cell phone from Ellen Weiss, who's the head of news at NPR, asking me to call. When I called back, she said, what did you say? What did you mean to say? And I said what I meant to say, which is that it's an honest experience that when I'm in an airport and I see people who are in Muslim garb, who identify themselves first and foremost as Muslims, I do a double take. I have a moment of anxiety or fear given what happened on 9/11. That's just a reality. And she went on to say, well, that crosses the line. And I said, what line is that? And she went on to somehow suggest that I had made a bigoted statement. And I said, it's not a bigoted statement. In fact, in the course of this conversation with Bill O'Reilly, said that we have, as Americans, an obligation to be careful to protect the constitutional rights of everyone in the country and to make sure we don't have any outbreak of bigotry, but that there's a reality. You cannot ignore what happened on 9/11, and you cannot ignore the connection to Islamic radicalism, and you can't ignore the fact of what has been even recently said in court with regard to this as the first drop of blood in a Muslim war on America. And then she said, you know, this has been decided up the chain. I said, you mean I don't even get the chance to come in and we do this eyeball to eyeball, person to person, have a conversation? I've been there for more than 10 years. We don't have that chance to have a conversation about this. And she said, there's nothing you can say that will change my mind. This has been decided above me, and we're terminating your contract.